Friends, welcome to the channel. My name is Hako. In this video, we're gonna talk about one of my favorite subjects, which is Ellen. If you watch my stuff, you probably know that I consider myself to be an Ellen main, and with the new Ellen buffs coming up in the 2.0, well, there's all the more reason to talk about her, and I don't mind that at all. Now, I recently did a video kind of breaking down what the buffs actually are, and on that video, there was a bunch of questions like how does this change how we approach building Ellen? And I've sat down, I've done some crunching, I've done some thinking, and let me tell you, so Ellen, throughout the patches from release to where we are today, it's been a little bit of back and forth between the discs. At release, her best disc set was the Polar Metal. If we click recommended, that's what most people are using. What happened with the addition of more characters like Caesar, Astra and Lighter is that Ellen's best teams stopped containing more ice units than just Ellen, so activating the 4-piece of Polar Metal was kind of hard for Ellen just on her own. And instead we saw 4-piece Woodpecker pulling ahead, which is what I'm running. Arguably the strongest Ellen team currently is Lighter and Astra together with Ellen, or Caesar, Lighter, Ellen. And in those teams, Woodpecker pulls ahead by a bit. And now the reason why Polar Metal is good is because Ellen is a very basic attack focused character, and after an enemy has been inflicted by freeze or shatter, we get a 40% increased basic attack, which is very, very good. Ellen's basic combo is we do her basic attack string, then flash freeze trimming, then we EX special, flash freeze, EX special, flash freeze. Then we keep that cycle going as long as we have energy. And if we look her flash freeze trimming does have quite good multipliers on it. And it also benefits of 100% extra crit damage. Now the reason my Woodpecker pulls ahead is that if this is not active, we're only benefiting of a 20%, and even if we're benefiting of a 40%, this does nothing for Ellen's chain attack, which also hits very hard, and this does nothing for ultimate or EX special attack. Meanwhile, Woodpecker Electro, it's quite easy to have 2 stacks of this up at all times. Ellen is the basic attack one, and it is the EX special attack one. So we can say that we have close to 100% uptime on 18% extra attack, which, it's kind of the equivalent of adding on 20% to your basic attack. With the added benefit that this actually also benefits chain attacks, it benefits your EX special, and benefits your ultimate. So even though our basic attacks get slightly weaker, it makes up for it in other areas. So how does the Ellen buffs change this? Well, if we take a little bit of a look at the video, it does give us the names of some of the new moves, it does give us the new Icy Blade, and it does give us the dive from the sky. Or what I'm assuming is the dive from the sky. And if we take a little bit of a look, we can see that they are called basic attack, which means that these will all be benefiting off Polar Metal. Before, Polar Metal was lagging behind because it kind of really only benefited one attack. Now, mind you, it was an attack in her basic rotation, but now we get 2 more attacks to add on to that. And this has the potential to be huge. And I think once the buffs goes live, Woodpecker and Polar Metal will still be kind of close with maybe an edge to Polar Metal. But as soon as we get the designated limited S-rank support for ice, I expect Polar Metal to skyrocket ahead of Woodpecker. Which is why all of my current energy is going into farming Polar. I think in a few months' time, Polar Metal is gonna be the absolute GOAT for Ellen. And hopefully we will get a designated S-rank ice support, unless they decide to, give us a 5th electric or fire stunner. And with Miyabi's rerun on the horizon, maybe they pair up with something like that. Maybe Alice is an ice support. And now, mind you, these are all speculations. We still need to see the full numbers, how high are the damage modifiers on the Icy Blade and how high are they on the dive down from the sky. If they are very low and insignificant, I still think Woodpecker might have a chance to pull ahead, but I also don't think that they will be. I think that they will be heavy hitting. And now another question I got on that video is does this make Hugos Engine better on Ellen? And looking at it, no, I actually think it makes it slightly worse, because now our basic attack combo and what we can do is lengthier. And the one problem with Hugos Engine is that the buff doesn't last long at all, only 3 seconds. So I can imagine many scenarios where we get to the end of the cycle and we do the final hard-hitting stuff and the buff is gone. So if anything, I actually think that the buffs makes Deep Sea Visitor slightly better. But once again, that's me theorizing. We will need to test it all out once it's live. So yeah, fellow Ellen enjoyers, that's how I'm theorizing that her buffs will change up how we build her. I think we're going back to Polar Metal. And I still think it's gonna be a close call between Polar Metal and Woodpecker after the buffs, with a slight edge to Polar, but once we finally have, you know, the Sokaku S-rank limited power creep, boy is gonna be ahead by a lot. And seeing how this is the case, I've now also used all of my Boo Pulls to try and power up my Shark Boo. Now Shark Boo gets more anomaly build-up the higher we star him up, and he's only 1 star, so yeah, this is where my Boo Pulls is gonna be going. Actually, let's do 3. Come on, do it for the content. Gosh darn it, now we're like scammed again. And for anybody wondering, crit damage on 4 is still gonna be that shit. Alright everybody, as always, big hugs, and thank you so very much for watching. Until next time, Hako out.
Oh, I wish that you could just take it easy. Lay back, fast the way I roll. So get off my tail, or else you will get to say hello to my darling sharks. Got up, like, don't you know? Don't you know? You should know that I'll fight them all. These sharks got up, like, don't you know? Hurry up and get it done. But don't run my patience to the ground. If you need me here, these sharks got up, like, don't you know? Ooh, yeah, you better keep it fun. When I try, I'm second to none. Ooh, 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 you will get to say hello to my dog. It's sharks.